Hello and a very warm welcome back. My guest this week is the Welsh conductor who began Only Men Aloud. Since then, he's gone on to found the Aloud Charities, which run Only Boys Aloud, Only Kids Aloud, and the Aloud Girls. He's done super well in all areas, and for the last 2 years he has been the Director of Music at the prestigious Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama. He is Tim Rhys-Evans MBE. Hello Tim, lovely to see you, my darling. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Gorgeous to see you, Debs. It's been way too long.
It's been ages, it's been years. This damn pandemic has got in the way. I had to give you the full introduction then, including your title, because you have had such an extraordinary career. And as we know, these careers, as long and as wonderful as they are, aren't always easy. But how is the job currently at the Welsh College?
Do you know, we've been so lucky because we have, apart from the first lockdown when we had to close our doors for 3 months, when we all had to stay at home, we've been open continuously. And because here at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, our students learn through performance and rehearsal, it's so that activity of making music together and on their own is the foundation of our education. So we were given special dispensation that we could perform, we could have concerts in our concert halls with student audiences and staff, socially distanced, of course. To begin with, the social distancing was crazy because singers, brass players, and woodwind players, I mean, they were headlines on the news that singing was transmitting COVID, and the flute was known as the COVID cannon. So musicians who are usually, kind of the well-behaved, nicely mannered, quiet people were kind of public enemy number one. Yeah. But because of our remit as an educational institution, we were able to keep going. So I've just been amazed at the resilience of our students and our staff of coping with making music under the most difficult circumstances, making operas where everyone had to stand 6 meters apart. So I love duet when you stood at opposite ends of the stage, but we kept going because it's crucial for these students' academic progression. So I feel very privileged to be in this position and to be surrounded by lovely, young, energetic musicians who just get a kick out of performing. It's a huge privilege.
Amazing, absolutely. Well, I know from having worked there myself what a buzz that building is, what a hive and a hub of activity it is. But are you back together now? Are the students allowed to literally just play and combine?
Yeah.
It's all.
Yeah, so we're back that we can perform in normal circumstances, whatever normal is now. We're still very careful, walking around the building, encouraging mask wearing, all of that kind of thing. But our audiences are back in, so our students get to share the work that they make. These guys spend hours every single day putting together a program and perfecting it. And then the joy of that is sharing that with your audience, with your tutors, seeing that progression, standing up on that beautiful stage that we have in our main concert hall, and making amazing music. And so we're back to doing that again, which is the reason why musicians get up in the morning is to perform.
Absolutely. I'm so pleased to hear that. I've been, like everyone, missing a gig, missing theatre, missing the arts, tragically missing it and craving it. And it feels so good to be able to go and do that again. Now, the question, Tim, I've been asking all of our guests is, when you've gone through difficult times in your life or your career, has there been, or is there a mantra that you use to pull you through?
There most definitely is. So much so that I had it laminated onto a little credit card sized card. And I carry it around in my wallet everywhere I go. It's just a simple line from the American poet, Robert Frost. And it just says, the best way out is always through. Mm-hmm. I discovered this first in one of these little, books which have inspirational quotes in, and somebody bought it for me for a birthday present. And I kind of read it first and I thought, oh yeah, whatever. But then when when I really started to think about that it's so easy to avoid. It's so easy to just think, actually, I'll just procrastinate about that, or not that anyone ever does that consciously, but this idea of whatever the storm, whatever the pandemic, whatever it is that you're going through, to just be content to be in the middle of it, and to just realize that by working through it is the only way that you'll ever come out of that, having really grown as a result of that experience. And I was thinking about this in light of our conversation. There are three times in my life which, if it's helpful, I'll share that where that quote is. The first time was literally a lifesaver. Back in 2013, I went through a very severe mental health crisis. I was sectioned and hospitalized because of just acute depression, aggressively suicidal, and I really thought that I'd had enough. I was checking out, and I'm really, really blessed to have amazing family, amazing friends. Deb, you were there at the time. People who stood with me and allowed me to go through. They didn't try to say, kind of pull yourself together, stop thinking about that, stop dwelling on it. It was, I'm hugely privileged that the NHS, this amazing package of support that I had from so many different areas in my life enabled me to go through it. I think I know what I was doing before that, actually, was I was going, oh, for goodness sake, just get on with it, do your next gig, whatever. And then as the suicidal thoughts just became more and more commonplace, I was just so convinced that I had to die. That there was no, my illness had taken such a hold that there was no way of getting away from that, I thought. But by going through it, by having the incredible support and, metaphorically and physically, people holding me, the best way out was definitely to go through it and to deal with it, not to try and stop thinking about it. It's a really puzzling one as well, because I think it's not good to dwell on things too much sometimes, but finding that balance of just actually looking at what the issue is, dealing with it, and keeping going. Then, as part of my recovery from that, I decided that I was going to run the London Marathon, and I'd just turned 40. And I wanted to run for Shelter Cymru, which is a Welsh homeless charity. And the training for that was really hard. I'm not a natural sportsman. And actually, Robert Frost's words were there again. It was just, no, don't walk for the next half a mile, because, that'll just prolong the agony. That'll just, so just digging deep, keeping going, the best way out is always through. So that's the second time. Then the last time.
When did you do the London Marathon? Which year?
In 2014.
Completed it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. And I remember when I told my psychologist that when I was in hospital that I'd already signed up to run the London Marathon. They were like, I'm not sure that we should be setting such ambitious goals. At the time, it was difficult for me to get dressed or make a cup of tea, let alone run 26.2 miles. But I did it, and the all of those runs and marathon training is you spend a lot of time on your own. So there's a lot of time to process, a lot of time to think. But all of those wet, cold, rainy runs that I had to do to prepare for that, just having Robert Frost's words there that meant that I could, when I finished, I could have a nice hot shower. I could have a piece of cake and a cup of tea because I was doing enough miles. I didn't have to worry about the weight gain. That's changed. So yeah, it was something which literally became a mantra. And why I was so interested when you told me about this mantras of the moment, in those moments when I was struggling at the hardest, it was there. And I remember being on the last stretch of the marathon, and I hadn't walked once until mile 25, and then I kind of hit my wall, and I was on Birdcage Walk, just coming around from Big Ben there to go down towards the Mall, and this giant strawberry overtook me, a man in a giant strawberry costume, and I just thought, no, you can't be bitten by a strawberry. So Robert Frost kicked in, and I got through. Amazing. That was the second time I used it, and then the last 2 years have been that mantra has been a constant companion to me. And in fact, only last week I wrote to all our students, because we're in the darkest term, we're in the longest term, we're halfway through the year. People have been getting colds, people have been getting COVID, and I just shared this quote with all students here at the college, which is about 800 students. Just that thing of passing on something that I hope is useful, and because it is so easy to just say, oh, I'll send that email later, or I'll phone my mum tomorrow, or all of those things that we sometimes just put off. But actually, just by digging in, getting it done, then you can go and enjoy that hot chocolate or glass of wine or whatever.
And a long holiday, hopefully. Well, I'm literally a little bit lost for words, and also a little bit choked by what you've shared, because it's the transparency and it's the courage and it's the realness of how you've just managed to come through these near 10 years, and the success that you've never looked back. You've just kept going, and I am so profoundly proud of you for doing that. And as you're saying that, I'm remembering alongside that mantra, the
best way out is always through.
Thank you. The best way out is always through. Is the other sort of side mantra to that, which is when you're going through it, just breathe and bear witness. Because someone told me that once, and I thought, don't attach yourself always to the complete darkness or trauma of your life. Just breathe and bear witness to it as the show that it is. And then, like you said, there will come a time where you're out the other side. You're at the other side. And you're right. These are dark months. They've been dark times. They've been really profoundly hard for everyone. And, I think we should all just really celebrate as we come into summer and we come into spring, the idea that we've held on. And I cannot thank you enough for sharing that. That's really made me, it's been an absolute pleasure. Brilliant. Well, listen, here's to you, here's to the college, here's to all those amazing students. Have you got a big show coming up that we can come and watch?
Oh, there's always a big show coming up. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. So, and I would, anyone who's in the Cardiff area, or is thinking about maybe taking a holiday in the Welsh capital, then check out the performance program here. There's of course our student work, which is wonderful to be able to share, but also we have amazing visiting artists. The world's best performers are here in this building on a weekly basis. So there's always something, really diverse programming, plays, opera, musical theatre, concerts. So yeah, come and see us.
Amazing. I will. And soon, I hope. I love you. Thank you so much. It's so good to see you.
You too, darling. Take care. Mwah.
Bye.